The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild is a 2022 American computer-animated adventure comedy film. Directed by John C. Donkin from a screenplay by Jim Hecht, Ray De Laurentiis, and William Schifrin. It is a standalone spin-off of the Ice Age franchise. The film stars the voices of Simon Pegg reprising his role as Buck Wild alongside Vincent Tong, Aaron Harris, Utkarsh Ambudkar, and Justina Machado. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures, rather than 20th Century Studios or 20th Century Animation, and Bardell Entertainment. It was released as a Disney Plus original film on January 28, 2022. The film has received generally negative reviews from critics. Plot: concerned about the two possums Crash and Eddie. Ellie, their woolly mammoth sister, calls for them, but they refuse to listen. Calling themselves independent possums, they accidentally cause an avalanche and destroy the gang's summer camp. Manny, Ellie's husband, scolds Crash and Eddie for their recklessness and irresponsibility. Feeling guilty, Crash and Eddie sneak out and leave the new camp. Angry with Manny, Ellie insists that they leave to go find them. Crash and Eddie stumble upon the entrance to the Lost World, a land where dinosaurs survive, and quickly get in trouble with two raptors trying to eat them. Breaking away, they run into Buck Wild, who helps them escape and tells them that a dwarf triceratops named Orson, who has a big brain, has escaped from exile and has come to conquer over the Lost World. Buck tries to get Crash and Eddie back to their home, but figures out a boulder is covering the entrance to the Lost World. Orson appears and says that he sealed the exit. Buck and the possums escape and go to Buck's hideout, where Buck explains how he used to be part of an old squad that established the watering hole for animals to peacefully coexist. He goes on to say that Orson did not accept to join his squad because he believed in a world where the strong dominate the weak, with him being the leader of them all. Buck further explains that because his squad stood in Orson's way, Orson tried to get rid of them, but they defeated him, banishing him to exile on Lava Island. With no one knowing how he escaped, Orson figures out that he can control two raptors on the island with fire. Later, the two raptors find Buck's hideout, but Z, a Zorilla who used to be part of Buck's former squad, saves them by using a gas to knock out the raptors. Orson, seeing that two raptors is not enough to capture Buck, goes to find more. Orson and his new army of raptors attack the watering holes, with Buck and Z telling the animals to get out of there. Buck and Z, tense with each other after the squad broke up, head to get some help. Along with the possums, they arrive at Lost Lagoon and summon their old friend, Mama T-Rex. While Mama is knocked out because of a toothache they pull, Orson and his raptors arrive and attack them. Buck and Z forgive each other for breaking up the old gang and agree to work together. Acting as a diversion, Buck is captured by Orson, allowing the others to escape. Trying to figure out how Orson controls the raptors, Z and the possums devise a plan to get Buck back. Ellie and the others figure out that Crash and Eddie entered the Lost World and uncovered their entrance. They run into Mama, who tells them Crash and Eddie are in danger. Z and the possums free Buck, and with the help of the others, they continue to fight Orson and his army. Buck tries to explain to Orson that everyone needs to live in peace, but Orson arrogantly denies him and continues to fight. Figuring out Orson controls the raptors with fire, Crash and Eddie create a fire of their own and stop the raptors from fighting and save the Lost World. The raptors, mad at Orson, chase him away. Ellie and the others apologize to Crash and Eddie and ask them to come home. But Crash and Eddie express that they want to stay in the Lost World. Sad. Ellie allows them to stay and they say goodbye. But Crash and Eddie come to visit him often. Cast: Simon Pegg as Buckminster, Buck Wild, a one-eyed weasel and dinosaur hunter. Vincent Tong and Aaron Harris as Crash and Eddie, respectively. Twin prankster Possum Brothers, who are the adopted brothers of Ellie. The characters were previously voiced by Sean William Scott and Josh Peck from Ice Age. The Meltdown to Ice Age. Collision Course. Utkarsh Ambudkar is Orson, a dinosaur who wants revenge against Buck. Justina Machado is Z, a Zorilla who joins forces with Buck. According to Pegg, the character used to be Buck's partner before the events of the film. But the two had a falling out. Sean Kennan is Manny, a woolly mammoth who is the husband of Ellie and the leader of the herd. The character was previously voiced by Ray Romano in the first 5 films. Jake Green is Sid, a dim-witted ground sloth and the founder of the herd. The character was previously voiced by John Leguizamo in the first 5 films. Skylar Stone is Diego, a saber-toothed tiger who is the member of the herd. The character was previously voiced by Dennis Leary in the first 5 films. Dominique Jennings is Ellie, a woolly mammoth, the wife of Manny, and the adoptive sister of Crash and Eddie. The character was previously voiced by Queen Latifah from Ice Age. The Meltdown to Ice Age. Collision Course. Production. Development. In June 2016, when asked about the possibility of a potential 6th film, Ice Age. Collision Course co-director Galen Tan Chu said there were some ideas for the next installment. In August 2018, 20th Century Fox CEO Stacey Snider announced the development of a television series centered around the character of Buck with Blue Sky Studios. The series would feature Crash and Eddie voiced by Sean William Scott and Josh Peck. On October 25, 2019, 7 months after the acquisition of 21st Century Fox by Disney, the project was confirmed to still be in development for Disney+. In December 2020, the project was confirmed to have been redeveloped as a film titled Ice Age: Adventures of Buck Wild, centering around Buck going on an adventure in the dinosaur world with Crash and Eddie. Simon Pegg was reported to be reprising his role as Buck. However, Sean William Scott and Josh Peck, who voiced Crash and Eddie in previous films, did not return, and Vincent Tong and Aaron Harris were cast as their replacements. Blue Sky was closed on April 10, 2021, and consequently, many of their upcoming projects were cancelled. Despite this, production on Ice Age: Adventures of Buck Wild continued. On January 14, 2022, director John C. Donkin and executive producer Laurie Forte said Blue Sky was never involved in the film, unlike the previous Ice Age films released by 20th Century Fox and produced by Blue Sky. The film was produced by Walt Disney Pictures and Bardell Entertainment. Bardell had previously collaborated with Disney on Diary of a Wimpy Kid. 2021. Music. Batu Sena was revealed to be the composer for the film on August 2, 2021. Sena later uploaded snippets of the score to SoundCloud on September 26, 2021. And December 14, 2021, confirming that original themes from Ice Age: The Meltdown and Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs, which was composed by John Powell, would be in the film. The soundtrack was released on January 28, 2022. All music is composed by Batu Sena. Release. The film was released on January 28, 2022, exclusively on Disney Plus in North America. The film will later be released on March 25, 2022, in Europe, Asia, and the Pacific, making it the first Disney Plus original film to not have a worldwide simulcast. Reception. The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild has received negative reviews from critics. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 22% of 18 reviews are positive, with an average rating of 4.4. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 32 out of 100 based on 5 critics, indicating generally unfavorable reviews on Variety. Courtney Howard gave the film a negative review, expressing how the story's focus is on the major characters of the previous Ice Age films, rather than solely on the titular Buck. She also points out the problematic disability representation and how the animation is akin to a late-stage pre-Viz pass, ending the review saying that the film should have remained on ice. Natalia Winkleman of The New York Times was disappointed to see the film replace almost all of its celebrity voices and stated that of all the sins in the movie, the omission of Scrat was unforgivable, giving the film a D+. The AV Club's Jesse Hassinger compared it to one of Disney's old cheap direct-to-video sequels, saying, "The new direct-to-streaming Ice Age sequel is a generic chunk of content." Mark Kennedy of the Associated Press gave the film 2/4 stars, writing, "Visually and storytelling-wise it's not a cut above much of what kids can watch on TV these days. This is a franchise that looks like it's slowly going the way of the Dinos. While we drool." Potential sequel. On the Disney Plus PR page, it was revealed that a 6th Ice Age film is in development. Laurie Forte told Screen Rant about another spin-off, "I think it's a little premature. We hope that people will respond to this, and that will promote us to be able to do another movie. If the audiences want it. We've got plenty of ideas. There's no end to ideas and adventures and characters. So we're ready if they're ready." References. Notes. External links. Official website. The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild on Disney+. The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild at IMDb.